Two. All right, got one more for you guys today. Hopefully, well, not hopefully. Maybe this will be all. Maybe I'll come in for another one if I get inspired to. So this one is called "It's All Relative." To give you a little bit of back, this is the second post that I'm going to be doing, and to give you a little bit of backstory on this, I was having a conversation with a friend, and she's going through some family stuff. To keep it private, I won't mention the name or anything that's going on, but she was overwhelmed with a lot of stuff that was going in her mind. And thus, this podcast, because I know that she's not alone, that many people think the same thing. So we're just going to go right into it. Hi, guys. My name is Donnie Rouse, and you are listening to the podcast, One Life. It's all relative. It's no lie, or how should I begin this? Life gets busy. Different things require our attention at different times. Sometimes there is all the time in the world where we have to focus on a task at hand. And other times we feel bombarded with so many demands on ourselves, demands from our business, demands from our family, demands from our parents. Whatever, there's always demands that are going to be calling on you. So how do you kind of sort through all the things coming at you and say, all right, well, what deserves my attention now? What deserves priority? I had just done a podcast episode called Priceless. And the point of that podcast was to make you think about the experiences you wanted to have and to prioritize these life experiences, because the end, it's the experiences that you have that you're going to remember, right? Not the extra hour that you put in work or the bonus that you got. So this episode is a little bit different. This is kind of getting down into the minutia of your everyday life, because I feel like this is where the big shifts happen, right? Because we have a lot of demands we place on ourselves, right? We expect a lot more from ourselves than other people expect from us. Sometimes so much so that it's to the point of our own detriment. What's going on in your life right now? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Do you feel like there's a lot going on? There's a lot of demands you have to meet, and other people are making demands in your time. Not necessarily they're consciously making them, but because you love somebody, you're putting your time and attention towards the things that matter to them, the issues that they are facing. If you look at the big picture, everything that's going on, what are the top priorities? What really matters in this moment? To ask us a follow-up question is, where are you putting the demand on yourself? Sometimes you have demands that you're creating a deadline and this anxiety inside, but it's all self-induced. I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was sharing some stuff that's going on in her life, right? She felt very, very bombarded with a lot of things, a lot of demands being made on her. She has children, a lot of things going on. And in the talk, I said, well, listen, what's important? Like, first, calm down, right? When we're in this state of tension, it's very difficult to see clearly, to think clearly, because you're in a state of panic, you're in a state of chaos. With the product launch coming up, she was just kind of telling me all the things that were going on and how her attention felt scattered and that she might have to postpone this product. I said, well, postpone it. I mean, the people who are following you, the people who you've already told about this thing, do you think they wouldn't understand? Do you think they wouldn't have compassion for you? Of course they would. Of course they would. After having a short conversation, I think she finally let go some of the weight and realizing that it was weight that she was carrying, that she was choosing to carry, that she could let go at any time. Right? Priorities are relative. So a priority, so maybe you have a demand your business is making on you, right? That's a priority until something more important comes on. Maybe it's the health of a family member. That's a priority until something else happens. Maybe it's your own health, right? It's all relative. It's all relative. Give you another example. It's like you get a flat tire, like, oh my God, damn it, I got a flat tire. Then you go to work and realize that they're going to be downsized, and now you're panicking about the downsizing. So the flat tire doesn't seem like much of a worry anymore. You go home and you realize that someone you love is ill with something. All right, now all of a sudden, like, who cares about the job? And now you're worried about this. So again, it's all relative. Where are you putting your time? Where are you putting your attention? The intention of this is to put it where to the things that matter. When I had started my business a little bit earlier, probably I would say 7 years back or so, maybe even longer, my uncle had passed away. And at the funeral, or there I can't think of the event. I'm having trouble thinking the dinner after, the lunch after the funeral. I received a call from one of my customers saying, "Hey, I tried to get coffee, cold room in at this place, but they were out." And I was like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll make sure that they get it by tomorrow." And she was asking. We had friends with this person, so she was like, "Well, how are you?" And I told her I was at a wake. She's like, "Well, you didn't need to pick it up," you know. And I didn't really think about that. I was like, "Oh well, this is my business. I'm supposed to be readily available 24/7." As I was telling her where I was, and I started crying. I started to get emotional, and she goes, "Listen, go be with your family. You do not have to worry about this now." It just got me thinking about just life in general. How often do you put demands on yourself that are artificial, that are literally your own demands that are causing you stress? I'm not saying they're not important, but I'm just saying get some perspective on what is really important in this moment. Maybe it is being the support of a loved one, in which case, you could explain to people and say, "Listen, this is taking priority." Or maybe you're working on a project and all your friends are demanding, they want to see you. They haven't seen you in a while. You can say, "Listen, this is what I really have. I want to put my attention and my time here to see this through." Who's not going to understand, right? All these people love you. And if they're going to get upset, maybe they're not meant to be in your life anyways. So what I'm trying to tell you is be patient with yourself. Be understanding with yourself. Be loving to yourself. Like life is a bunch of things, right? I talk here because my intention for you is to live the fullest expression of your life. Did you have the experiences of joy, passion, and excitement? These extraordinary experiences. But extraordinary also means that in this time you have here on earth, anything out of the ordinary is extraordinary, right? Extraordinary. It includes all these dips, all the highs and the lows that you go through in life. So know that there are always going to be lows, but in any moment, there's also going to be the high. And then when you're in those lows, put your attention where it needs to go. Don't worry about what other people need to think. Don't worry what other demands of you. Do what you know you have to do for you. Put yourself first. This is a very, very short podcast, but I think it is definitely something that I needed to come on here because so often people don't even have the time for a cup of coffee to spend a few minutes with themselves. That's an issue because if you're not giving yourself a few minutes, what you're saying is everything out there is more important than giving time to myself. It goes with that whole, when you're flying, when the oxygen masks come down, put the mask on you first, then you can help someone. Because if you're not doing that first, if you're constantly wearing yourself down, there's not going to be anything left for you to give. Not going to be anything left for you to give your family, not going to be anything for you to give your friends, and most of all, there's not going to be anything for you to give yourself. So give to yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself. That is all I have for you today. I hope this message goes right into your heart. And it says, maybe you're listening to this, you know what? I'm going to go have a cup of coffee. And take a few moments just to, if you're in the Northeast right now, the weather is beautiful. And it is in the beginning of November. And it's like summer. Go outside. Take a walk. Even if it's a matter of a few minutes. Do something for you. That is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this post. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share, like, comment, ask a question by visiting the website www.donnyrouse.com, DONNYRAUS.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you get one life. Live it. God bless, and I will see you again soon.